This case is not just about stolen property. It's about a stolen car, a stolen childhood moment, and a child left in harm's way. In today's courtroom drama, judge delivers a blistering takedown to a 40-year-old defendant who claims he's finally ready to change, but only after abandoning a baby in a vehicle and getting caught. You'll hear the raw emotion from the bench as judge demands answers. Why now? Why only after jail? And most of all, what kind of man takes a car and leaves a helpless child behind? There are certificates, excuses, and even a Bible study redemption arc. But will the judge buy it? Stick around because this one gets intense, and the final sentence might just...
What does it take for people to be locked up in the jail or to go to prison to do right? Like, why must I have these certificates now? Why were there not certificates beforehand? And how old?
The judge isn't just reading off a rap sheet here. She's laying bare the deeper question behind the case. Why did it take 40 years and a jail cell for this man to start caring about change? Notice how she questions not just the crime, but the timing of his transformation. This isn't about paperwork, it's about pattern, and that's exactly what's at stake in sentencing today. Does the system trust a sudden jailhouse turnaround or see through it as survival mode acting?
How old are you?
40 years old, Your Honor.
All right, you're 40 years old. So why wasn't there a certificate beforehand? Why were you not doing right beforehand? Why is it I'm at the Bexar County Jail, now I'm going to Bible study, now I'm doing education services, now I'm doing all of this and participating?
The only thing I can say is, yes, there wasn't before, but...
All right, and each cause number according to the plea bargaining agreement in 2022 CR 4829, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 18 months in the state jail facility. The state is opposing your application. And in cause number 2022 CR 4824, it's a cap of 8 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application, and the cases are to run concurrent. Well, so here's my question for you. And if you want to speak, I'm going to swear you in. The state will have a chance to cross-examination.
This is one of the most emotionally charged moments in the case. The defendant admits to feeding the baby, but then walks away, leaving the child alone. No phone call, no knock on a door, no human contact. The judge isn't just asking legal questions, she's pressing moral ones. In what world is feeding a baby you're abandoning a defense? What would you have done in that moment? Let us know in the comments, because this right here is the heart of the entire case.
Cross-examine you. I always read everything. I always read all of the stipulations. I understand that you took the car and I guess you decided, hey, let me at least give the baby some food. So you fed the baby and then you leave the baby. Who did you call to tell them, hey, this is where the car is located with the child in it? Did you call anybody?
I didn't have a phone at that time where I was going.
Well, did you knock on somebody's door? Or did you abandon this baby in a location where there were no other human beings around that you could have said, hey, I made a bad choice. I stole this vehicle. Here's the baby in the car. Did you do that? No. Did you contact somebody and say, this is where you can locate the baby? All right. And when you found out that there was a child in the vehicle, that you then drive to a location, because you said you didn't have a phone, did you drive to a location and say, hey, let me bring this child back. I stole this vehicle.
This is where the courtroom shifts from questioning to condemnation. The judge gives the defendant multiple outs, multiple chances where he could have done the right thing. And each time the answer is no. Not only did he steal a car with a child in it, but he also missed every opportunity to fix that mistake. And that's exactly what the judge wants the audience and the defendant to feel. The crushing weight of what wasn't done.
Let me return this child. Did you do that?
No, I did not do that.
All right. And then the complainant is saying that she had just cashed her income tax money and had $4,100 in the vehicle. So did you, after you make this bad decision on your part, did you stop and say, you know what? There's a baby in this vehicle. Obviously, this mother has just cashed a check and maybe she needs that to clothe and feed her baby. Did you say, you know what? I'm going to leave this $4,100 alone. I'm going to call somebody or either drop this car off at the gas station with the baby in it, with the money in it, maybe wait for the police and say, I just made some bad decisions. Did you do that?
No, I didn't. I didn't see the money. I didn't search the car.
Here's where it gets even messier. The victim had just cashed her income tax refund, $4,100 meant to support her child. The money vanishes. The defendant claims he didn't see it, but the judge isn't buying it. Even if we gave him the benefit of the doubt, shouldn't the presence of a baby and a desperate mother have been enough to walk away from that car? Or at least, not drive off with it?
Somebody took the money, she doesn't have it.
And I take full responsibility because once again, that was something I did. I didn't see the money. I didn't have money on me. One thing I can do, Your Honor, is take responsibility for what I did. And I never meant for any child ever, but it was a bad decision.
But you meant to take a car that didn't belong to you.
I accept responsibility for that, Your Honor.
Now the defense steps in, painting a picture of redemption and requesting mercy. They ask the judge to help him break the cycle. But here's the key moment. Redemption after a child's life was endangered isn't easy to swallow. And while it's important to believe people can change, the courtroom must weigh that hope against public safety. Should the judge risk another offense? What do you think? Has he earned another chance?
All right, defense, anything?
Yes, I have argument. Okay. So my client does understand he has made a bad choice, bad decision. He has made many in the past. We argue that it is, a cycle that we ask the court for assistance in breaking. Your Honor, in this court asks on a daily basis what is needed, if anything further is needed for the defendant to be successful. And we ask that you allow him the opportunity to be successful out in the community. The victim is asking for restitution. He would like the opportunity to work honestly for that restitution. I have certificates that I would like to present to Your Honor from the maintenance kind of work unit in the Bexar County Jail, as well as letters from, the individuals who run the program.
You can walk around. Here's my question that I always have. Why does it take for people to be locked up in the jail or to go to prison to do right? Like, why must I have these certificates now? Why were there not certificates beforehand? And how old are you?
40 years old, Your Honor.
All right, you're 40 years old. So why wasn't there a certificate beforehand? Why were you not doing right beforehand? Why is it I'm at the Bexar County Jail, now I'm going to Bible study, now I'm doing education services, now I'm doing all of this and participating?
The only thing to say is, yes, there wasn't before, but I'm trying to work on myself now. I'm trying to work on myself now. I'm 40 years old.
And you have a lot of criminal history.
And I do, Your Honor, and I never try to work on myself.
We've heard it before. I was young. I didn't know better. But now he's 40, and the excuses don't land the same. The judge brilliantly points out that time passes whether we work on ourselves or not. It's a powerful life lesson and a brutal reality check for the defendant. Change is possible, but the clock doesn't pause while you delay. It's a moment we can all learn from.
I never did program before. I never tried to do any of that before.
Well, no, you were on probation at some point. Did you just blow that off?
2005, Your Honor. I was young at that time. All
right, so I'm going to help you break your cycle. And whether or not you completely break it is going to be completely up to you. Because on this planet, time passes whether we are working on ourselves or not. So you're going to have to work on yourself. You understand? And each cause number, I'm going to find you guilty. And cause number 2022 CR 4824, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. It's to run concurrent with 2022 CR 4829. And cause number 2022 CR 4829, I'm going to find you guilty, sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This will run.
The ruling is harsh, but fair. The defendant is sentenced to 8 years in prison, with concurrent time and restitution of $4,100. But this isn't just about punishment. The judge is giving him a final shot to take responsibility and break the cycle, for real this time. It's a legal sentence, yes, but also a challenge. She's saying, Your move.
Concurrent with 2022 CR 4824, there's to be restitution of $4,100 to, you can go off the record. Here's what you need to understand. That was an infant in a car being taken.
This is one of the judge's most chilling breakdowns. She paints the picture the defendant refuses to, an infant alone, with a stranger possibly freezing to death. Think about that. Not just the crime, but the risk. This wasn't petty theft. This was a helpless child left to fate, and the judge drives it home with unrelenting force. This moment should stay with anyone who ever downplays the impact of just taking a car.
Away from its mother, not knowing who is this strange person in the car with me. And then you feeding the child, whatever you're feeding the child, you don't know if the child has any allergies or not, you're feeding the child. And then an adult male, an adult human being leaves a child, abandons them to fend for themselves. Anything could have happened to that child. That child could have froze to death. Do you understand?
Not anybody, I most definitely understand, Your Honor.
All right. So what you need to do is when you go to the prison, you need to get your life in order, because if you do not, when you get out, there's going to be another offense.
This moment might shock viewers. The judge says 20 years wouldn't have been unreasonable. Why? Because this wasn't just reckless, it was cruel. It's rare to hear a judge say something so direct, but here it lands with weight. The justice system doesn't just punish, it protects. And in her eyes, this mother and her baby needed a lot more protecting than the defendant did defending.
Nothing I can do about that. My hands are tied. The state made you an offer of cap of 8 opposed. I don't think 20 years would have been anything unreasonable for you to have, because you abandoned a child who cannot take care of him or herself. I don't know if you had the child strapped down in a car seat, but what I do know is that child was abandoned to fend for themselves, and anything could have happened. Anything nefarious could have happened with just some stranger walking around.
And just when you think the case is done, the judge adds another layer, questioning the mother for leaving the car running. But watch closely. She's not shifting blame. She's highlighting how one poor choice created an opening for a criminal one. It's a warning to every parent watching. Small risks can turn into major consequences in a flash. One car, one baby, one thief, and lives changed forever.
And you have a mother who's wondering where her child is.
So, who left the kid in the car by himself? You're using
Oh, so now it's the mother's fault for leaving a child. Do I think a mother should?
Car.
Here's the thing. Yeah, a running car so that somebody who didn't own a vehicle could come up and steal it and take their child. Good luck to you.
What a case. A stolen vehicle, an abandoned child, and a defendant who waited 40 years to start turning things around. Judge's ruling wasn't just about this moment, it was about a pattern, a warning, a final shot at redemption. So what do you think? Was 8 years too light or just right? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. This is Final Judgment, where justice isn't just served, it's exposed.